Arc Raiders just gave the entire player base an impossible challenge, only 7 days to complete it, so here's how to get it done. Although I should say from the top, dancing is optional. Aside from the projects and expedition, Arc Raiders gives everyone 5 identical challenges at the start of every week. Some players even grind for the most possible points to move up the leaderboards, but most try and get 3 stars in an effort to farm blueprints and rare items, which according to you guys is still a great way to find the rarest one in the game. They're called trials, and they are usually something incredibly mundane and easy. You guys out here trying to be Ben Franklin? But occasionally they turn the entire playbase into rabid big game hunters who strap $150,000 worth of weaponry to their backs in order to damage Ark's biggest and baddest robots.
Hey, can I maybe get a core? Just one. I'm not picky.
This week they did exactly that, and it created some very big problems. But before we get to them, let's turn our attention inward and have a moment of introspection, because by our very nature, humans tend to do easy things first. And this week's trials offered plenty of items to swiftly cross off the digital to-do list and map conditions to reward your efforts quickly. The way these things work, you can either grind them out like a psychopath in normal daytime raids, or like a rational human, you can do it during a special map condition for 2 times the points, so I decided to cross all mine off in Hurricane playlists. Think I can make this? I knew everyone in their equalizer would be trying to get the damage the queen or matriarch done, so I started with low-hanging fruit of damage flying Ark inside the spaceport walls. Sure can't. If you are trying to speed through these, just bring in a bunch of secret grenades and let them do the work for you and reap your reward, which in my case was an extended shotgun mag, medium, and complex gun parts. This should be the last hurricane of the day. The severe weather event had moved over to Blue Gate, which was great because I had to do another oddly specific challenge of open containers inside the traffic tunnels, which is misleading because literally anything inside of Blue Gate counts as a traffic tunnel.
I'm not trying to steal your key room, but I'm just trying to get trials done. So whenever you're done in there, I might pop in, question mark.
The lobbies seem to be generally friendly.
All right.
For now at least.
Hey man, sorry, I was looking for you.
And after searching every container the Blue Gate had to offer, I was rewarded with a muzzle brake, shotgun choke, and another blueprint I already had. The damage comets was incredibly easy. I know everyone says if you throw a lure grenade at them, they just self-immolate, which is true and hilarious, but unfortunately you don't get damage for it. So I'd recommend a Hulk Cracker, as killing them with it feels like popping an annoying pimple, except this one was filled with complex gun parts. At this point, I was hoping everyone would be done 3-starring the Matriarch and Queen challenge, but just to be safe, I wrapped up my Search Arc Probes challenge. But it turns out everyone was just getting started. What's the point of these things anyway? Great question, I have no idea. Like an idiot, I spawned in thinking this would be just another normal raid, so I did what I usually do. Yeah, I know I got 2 Hulk Crackers and it's dumb. Spend 70% of my time shooting and about 30% looting, hoping to get enough damage to quickly call it a day. I have never seen so many wolf packs in my life. Yeah, but something odd was going on. They just keep coming. What is going on? For the next 3 hours, I was a roadie, following the queen or matriarch around to different maps with 20 of my closest and incredibly well-armed friends, only to make like the Chicago Bears and come up short when it really counted, because I wasn't playing this the right way. Holy shit, that was incredibly fast. This might be impossible. It wasn't for lack of effort or resources. In total, I would run through 17 wolf packs, 4 medium shields, which I repaired just to piss off people in the comments, 37 adrenaline shots, 3 raider keys, 312 rounds of Hulk Cracker and energy ammo, which costs like a bajillion dollars from Tianwen,
Back again.
3 cans of Vita Spray, and more shield rechargers and herbal bandages than I'd care to admit, all to get 2 measly stars for my effort. Don't get me wrong, I was still getting great loot. And if you're in need of cores or any of the amazing things people inexplicably leave behind, this is the playlist for you. But if you want to actually reach the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow,
For a fellow astronaut, we gotta look out for each other.
you have to do things differently.
Yeah, you move that inventory around. Oh, that's a good trade. I'll take that trade.
And that's because you're going into
Thank you.
lobbies with people who have essentially beaten the game. At this point in the season, most people who care about completing this task have every good gun there is to get, which will make my death in a few minutes even more surprising. I found myself back on spaceport and had adapted my approach to that of a sniper. I'd wait until the matriarch had put down her shield and then slam the ever-living shit out of her exposed core with my Jupiter. In most normal lobbies, this would have been a fine strategy, but something weird was happening. Why is her shield not going down? I don't have a definitive answer. My bet is that the comments will. But my theory is that if a matriarch takes too much damage too early in the raid, the shield just stays up. And she challenges the raider with balls the size of deadlines to mount and teabag her if they really want the kill. In total, I'd stay scoped on her for over 3 minutes, and instead of lowering it even one time, she'd die with it up, which is insane because riding the matriarch or queen like a bull is quite possibly the most dangerous thing you can do in the game. Yeah, I think I need to go back to the drawing board. I would, but first I had to get myself acclimated to pain. Nothing's as painful as someone reciting the dictionary definition of insanity. So instead of quoting Merriam and Webster, I decided to live it out and gave myself 2 more raids to get it done without dying and losing everything. Okay. Here we go. Because the Forbidden Bull Ride has deep and lasting consequences. While it's cool to stand on top of a 4-story building that launches rockets, flashbangs, and molten magma, there are a few, actually a lot of drawbacks. Before you even mount either the Queen or Matriarch, you have to get through a swarm of Rocketeers, Bastions, Leapers, and Bombardiers, which unless you're packing like $30,000 worth of wolf packs in your backpack, takes some time, and even if you are, the rest of the lobby is just shooting your bull, and by the time you're done with the Sky Gods, the only place left to plant that deadline is on its course. If you somehow manage to finish with that murderous appetizer, you need to get on top, requiring a strong core, flexible hips, and a snap hook which has a Kelly Blue Book estimated value of $14,000. If you're up there and the core isn't exposed, you'll need a gun to blast it off to plant your $5,000 deadline, and that can range from $10,000 to $30,000. Between that, the ammo, shield rechargers, heals, and your augment, you're looking at a 6-figure sum in order to even attempt this. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that I tried to avoid it. And if I hadn't been so pragmatic about this, I wouldn't have found a glaring glitch. Back on darn Battlegrounds, despite my horrendous spawn, I had somehow miraculously arrived first, which is both a good and bad thing. Sure, you get to direct the fight, plan your cover, and land the first shots. 555 damage, not bad. Which, if you have working eyes, you know that I did, and that's good. But you also get the unmitigated attention of every single arc on the map, which I think we can all agree has its downsides. I've blown up the damage here on the left side of the screen so you can follow along, because it's not going to add up in the end. By the time everyone else had arrived, I had been chased by a Leaper, gassed, and lit on fire twice, and while I still hadn't mustered the testicular fortitude to ride, I was committed to staying inside her shield, which would have allowed me to slowly and methodically lob Hullcracker and Jupiter rounds for about 200 to 400 damage points per piece. And when she went down, I genuinely thought I'd done it. Okay, that should do it. Yeah, so it turns out I was wrong. Despite racking up more than 4,000 damage during the game, I had only been credited with 2,919. Are you f***ing kidding me? I wanted to see if it was a me problem or the entire player base problem.
Is anyone else's matriarch damage just not tracking?
Thankfully, everyone was incredibly talkative.
Okay, anyway, good talk.
It was at that moment I knew I had to nut up and ride the bull or live like a 2-star Tommy forever. I crafted and upgraded a Torrente, slap on an extended mag, and shoved a deadline, snap hook, and cloaking device into my bag and got to work. But it turns out there were 2 problems waiting at the end of the snap hook. First was that while I was busy focusing on self-preservation, everyone else was crafting deadlines and they weren't afraid to use them. Even with a good spawn, by the time I got myself to the battlefield, the sounds of snap hooks and deadlines pounded my eardrums and the smell of burning arc metal hit my nostrils. Okay, that's another deadline? This thing's getting swarmed. I just want to ride it. On one very momentous occasion, I was able to get up, and if trials were completed on getting a badass clip, I'd definitely get 3 stars for this. What is happening? Wow, okay. I was able to get up, start shooting some shots, and plant a deadline.
I'm probably dead here, by the way.
But even then, with all that good luck going for me, it still wasn't enough to dodge the 12 Wolfpacks ASDF-12 through. I'm sorry, what actually knocked me? And with this defib, things took a nasty turn.
How many fucking wolf packs were used in the making of that? That was insane, boys.
2 days, 27 raids, hundreds of thousands of dollars spent, and I had nothing to show for it, and was about to have even less, all because of Lifestyle J.
Brother, what? I mean, you're welcome to my stuff if you want it. That's fine with me, man.
By the way, Jay, if you're watching this, you misspelled style.
Well, that's a bummer.
Every raider reaches a point in life where they've just had enough, and I was decidedly at that point. I didn't care about bodily harm anymore. I was getting that 3rd star if it was the last thing I did, and honestly, it should have been. But as I was spawning in for the last time on Darn Battlegrounds, so was this person, whose name I will never know. And they are about to be very important. Armed with nothing but a Torrente, anvil, and a soul that was slowly dying, I made my way over to the matriarch despite not even realizing that I should have been running to the nearest exfil, because I'd spawned in with 17 minutes on the clock. In most of the raids, at the latest, the longest a queen or matriarch survived was 23 minutes, and 2 raids before, it ended at 27 minutes and 23 seconds, which I think is world record. But I was too busy moping and contemplating complete nihilism to be bothered with things as trivial as time. So as soon as I arrived on the scene, I got right to work. The mere continued existence of the matriarch should have told me that there wasn't really anyone else left in the lobby trying to fight this thing, which is fine because I wasn't even trying to kill it.
I'm not sure why I'm just gonna use my own zipline, but okay.
I had the survivor augment and a raider key. My plan was just to get as much damage in as I could, plant the deadline, and then spam my W key all the way over to the hatch and exfil in the bask of glory that is a 3rd star. I approached my new lover from behind and snap hooked, which is a word I think is a verb.
Wow, that was easy.
When I arrived, your core was ready and waiting for me, and I didn't want to waste anyone's time, so I planted my deadline, and got out of there. Gave her the 1 pump special. I know cool guys don't look at explosions, but, you know, I'm not a movie star, so I turned around to admire my handiwork. I feel like we should do that again. I was out of deadlines, but did have exactly 333 medium ammo rounds burning an absolute hole in my backpack, and she still had her back turned, so I came back for seconds. We've already established I had a death wish, and going back up for extended matriarch exposure was almost certain to kill me, but I wanted to have some fun. The Torrente is a fine piece of machinery, and once you have it fully upgraded, offers best-in-class reload speed, especially considering its mag can hold 102 rounds. This gun is genuinely a cheat code, and I don't know how I've never used it before. Also, after I reload, listen to something. Plus, I was about to reach Nirvana. Whenever I shoot this thing, it sounds like, it sounds, well, it's a video game, but it just sounds hilarious to me. No? Just me? Oh, I feel no joy. Only relief. I also felt pretty nervous being on top of the matriarch, but the impossible challenge was done. And with only 27 rounds left, I figured I'd go out alone with a bang and then do some dancing. But you already know I wasn't alone. I'm fairly certain it was a bombardier that struck the final blow, although to be honest, I didn't really care. Yeah, don't care at all. I briefly thought about crawling down to exfil, but if I can be honest with you guys, I didn't think anyone would see this video and stayed up there because it would make for a cool clip or B-roll to open another video somewhere down the road. So yeah, I was just, you know, taking it in. But what I didn't notice until I was actually editing this video was someone was already up there with me, and they're about to pop on your screen super briefly. Look familiar? At the time, I didn't even catch this and only saw them a few seconds later and struck up a pleasant and polite conversation.
Oh, hello, friend. I'm just gonna hang out up here. If you could not plan a deadline, that'd be sick. I'm just kind of going for a ride at the moment. It's actually peaceful up here.
I wasn't lying, it actually was very peaceful.
You still around these parts?
Now, obviously, if I had died to a deadline or some other freak accident, I would have lost my mind and uninstalled the game only to reinstall it when the new trials dropped on Monday. But it was actually pretty cool, and it was time to do some people watching.
Oh, hello, I see you in the distance. Hello, Raider. Oh, we got 2 people. What's going on, guys?
We actually had 3 because the medic was about to try something crazy. I was operating under the assumption that if someone was coming up to see me, it was to say, sorry, I don't have a defib. They planted a deadline directly on my skull, and I would have understood, because when you have an opportunity to get the 3rd star, you know, you take it. Plus, after getting shot in the back by a functionally illiterate J-style, I'd given up all hope in humanity. But guys, it turns out there are a few good people left.
No way you're gonna get this defib off. You're insane for that. You're insane.
There was absolutely nothing in it for this person to risk their life just to plant a defib in my body.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
There's no video game Hippocratic Oath, and my corpse would have been worth quite a bit of money, but they did.
No way you just did that.
The crazy part is this isn't even the nicest thing they do, but we had business to take care of first.
Let's blow it up.
For such a large vehicle, the Matriarch offers a surprisingly smooth ride. So after quickly healing myself, I got to blasting with my anvil, and my new friend did the same. The following 30 seconds can only be described as absolute bliss. Two best friends riding on top of a Matriarch, their massive balls just dragging all over the glowing orb, and their hearts filled with the joy that only a new and completely undeserving lease on life gives you. And, then I got bucked off, fell 30 feet, somehow managed to make like Star Fox and do a barrel roll, tried to pop a shot, only to realize that I needed to reload. That is bad. So I did what anyone would do and ran towards the safety only a sphere painted like a watermelon can provide. Thought I was safe. I retreated further, reloading my anvil while desperately searching for any sign of human life on top of the Matriarch, but I didn't see anything. If they had given their life for me, the least I could do was continue healing up and continue fighting in their name, which again, I do not know. Hey, are you still alive? I don't know why I was asking that, as they clearly did not have a functioning microphone, but something told me they were. So as the Matriarch exploded into 15 to 20 lootable pieces, I decided the only real way to repay them was to give them so much loot they had to waddle to the Raider hatch. In a few moments I would, but I needed a bunch of cores first, so I got to looting.
You have to be kidding me.
Obviously there weren't many people there.
Look, I don't know how many cores you got, but I'm gonna get you all of them. I hope you're getting the middle right now.
So this was honestly the easiest part of the entire ordeal. I expected every leg I looted to be picked over.
I don't know where you are.
But just about everyone had a core.
Is that medic around here anywhere? There you are. Come here, Mr. Medic. I have many things for you.
I gotta say, the tick really ruined the moment.
Not like this. Not like this.
But what followed is the single greatest piece of humanity I've ever seen in this video game.
That was sick. I got a hatch key if you want to get out of here.
Oh, the Raider hatch is close, so I led our band of merry men and maybe a woman or a man dressed as a woman in a video game back towards Speranza.
Okay, let us depart, friends.
And just when I thought the good doctor couldn't get any better, they went and did this. I turned around and they were giving their newfound and rightfully earned riches away to a stranger they had not said a single word to.
Oh yeah, way to pay it forward, my friend.
And the smart ones will know that I could have and should have looked up who revived me in the post-game screen. But after all of this, a random wash showed up and I wanted to make sure everyone got out of there safe. So if I'm being honest and vulnerable with all of you, I was just a little thrown off my game and not thinking clearly because I wanted to see my reward. Wait. All I get are 2 power rods? Better be better next week.